Motion in sim racing is a desperate attempt at immersion. But immersion is an illusion. What we feel, smell, touch, hear or see, that's what becomes reality. We can argue forever whenever technology in sim racing is real or not, but if it convinces your brain that you're truly racing, then you've reached immersion. As Einstein once said, reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Even physics bends to perception. Time isn't the same for everyone. Space isn't the same for everyone. Reality changes depending on how and where you experience it. Sim racing works exactly the same. The motion rig doesn't create reality, it creates your version of it. The screen, the sound, the force feedback, the movement, they all feed into the illusion. And when your brain accepts it, when your hands tighten, your heart rate climbs, and you're no longer sitting in a rig, you're inside the illusion. That's not fake, that's physics meeting perception. And there's only one device that can give you this experience, the Graviton. And in this video, I'll share my experience with this device and how it completely destroys and outclasses every motion rig out there. Some spend thousands on wheelbases, chasing better feedback through the steering, but in this rig, force feedback became quite irrelevant. You feel the car through your head, your seat, your entire body. What makes the Graviton special isn't just movement, it's the physical effort it demands. Every braking zone, every transfer of weight, every corner becomes a fight you feel. When you mentally prepare for a hard braking point and your body must actually work to make it happen, it triggers something deeper. A physical reinforcement gives you a dopamine hit, a sense of reward that makes driving pure joy again. Now, when you look at the footage of people sitting in this rig, there's the first point I want to make about this device in general. And it's also something that Alice and Matic, the brothers that created this project, pointed out. This is hard to sell if you look at it from an outside perspective. You just see someone sitting with a head doing, and that's all. But the experience that you'll have when you're sitting inside of this is completely not to compare with any other rig that was on the expo this year. The sim they used was Assetto Corsa Competizione, and a while back I was driving Assetto Corsa Competizione with my own community, and I had a really hard time to adapt because I'm currently doing a lot of Le Mans Ultimate. But when I started this, like the first impression that I got in the seat when I started was when the car jumped down and I drove out of the pit, and I could immediately feel that the view settings were off because I have my lock to horizon, but this was locked to the car. But within 1 or 2 corners, I was able to drive the Aston Martin on Spa like perfectly.
I see that you are very in control of this Aston. This is my favorite car. Yeah, I see.
I was hitting every apex. I was feeling the oversteer. I would feel the car's rotation. I could trill brake and immediately get into like it was only 1 lap. It was mega intuitive, and it was really reinforcing my inputs to how the car should act. And the best thing about the whole experience was basically that I'm already a VR player, so I do a lot of racing. Like, I only do racing in VR, and this just made it like I immediately understood what needed to happen. Now look at my reaction when I came out of this rig.
that's why we have Aggie.
We did a 20-minute session there. How was it, Arno?
20 minutes, was it?
20 minutes, how was it?
Yeah, it's insane.
It's insane.
The head movement, it's feel like when I was go-karting.
Yeah.
Same feeling with the helmet.
Okay.
Unbelievable.
So at the moment of recording, this device isn't for sale. It is crazy expensive. There were like some numbers throwing out there, like 250k. I thought it was, Aries later said it was a little bit less, but anyway, it was crazy expensive. But what did we then take from this, and what do we learn from it? Well, first of all, we need to understand how this project kind of started. So these two brothers, they are sitting in front of their racing game, and I don't know if it was Matic or Alex who grabbed the head of his brother to kind of like simulate G-forces as they were joking around in front of a racing game. But that's basically the origin on how it started. And I think the best thing about like tech and innovation and creating something new is by chasing our curiosity. And these brothers were just so curious that it became this obsessive project, and here we are. So like you're looking at like years and years of iteration before it's actually here for us to see. And what we can take and what we can learn from a project like this is that they completely went outside the box. You know, you see some motion rig and then people start copying, optimizing it, and that's really great because then shit gets more cheaper and whatever. But this just set a new baseline on what is possible in sim racing, and that I think is the true value of this device. Now, as far as I know, they are gonna use this to train people with the neck on G-forces on Formula 1 and like Formula cars. I think that it's really awesome. It just sets a new baseline on what is possible and what you can actually do. Now I also want to mention the motion rigs in general and why this was such a great feeling. So I will explain, like you could see my head move and all that, but that is not, the head movement wasn't all. There were also haptics in the seat. And when I was hitting curbs and shifting gears, my head would be like, when I shifted a gear, you could feel the torque of the engine pulling the car movement. But there was also this vibration in the seat. And it's not necessarily that the head movement kind of gives you the immersion, but it's all these different things together. All the haptics that were in the seat, the active pedal, force feedback, all combined together, because there was vibration in the seat, but the vibration was also in the helmet. Also, what you cannot see in that video is that it was also hard to turn my head when I was in the corner, so I had to kind of set my head into the angle before the braking zone. And like again, like I said in that previous clip, it was really like I was in a go-kart, and when it came out I was really exhausted, but exhausted like after a workout, some satisfaction. You know, when you did like a race on go-karts, you know, we only did this like you know, and the public go-karting centers, but you get some satisfaction when you get out of it. And that satisfaction I don't get in my own rig, that satisfaction I don't get in the other motion rigs. So what I will say about other motion rigs, and this is gonna piss off some people, I'm sorry, but it's just like, if you get a very expensive motion rig, which like you got all this like D-Box and all these different brands that do this, I see it as like these rigs, I see as a consumering thing, like buying a new car with a lot of options on it. So think about the, if I, let's say I spend 7K on a motion rig with the cylinders, then after like that would be really exciting in the beginning, but then it just becomes like normal. And it's the new baseline. And I think this device gives you such a, like this illusion of real racing, it's absolutely insane. Now, I don't make an argument, is this then now faster than being on screens? That is a freaking topic I don't even want to get into, because if you're really going for the pace, then a lot of rules change for like an esport perspective or something. So that's something I wanted to share and get out there. My experience with the Gravitom. I hope I can do it again once, but I don't know. Let's at least it is something that sets a new baseline in sim racing, and what challenges the current industry to a lot higher level. So thanks for watching.